okay, yeah, I would say that is what it is. But right, I feel like content-wise, right, I don't know if there is a shift, where back then, what was taboo, like talking about sex on YouTube and whatnot, Singaporeans talking about sex
Has
on
become
YouTube.
normalized now.
Yeah, because like the older videos were getting like millions of views one day, like over 1 million views lah.
Yep.
So right now then, what is the next thing that we can talk about?
What is the next controversial thing that's taboo?
Yeah,
So lesser and lesser things in the world.
So what is basically going to borderline get you cancelled but not? Then you'll probably get the views, right? I don't know, maybe.
That's the balance, right? Somewhere in there.
Hey guys, welcome to Talk Some More, the video podcast dedicated to featuring content creators, entrepreneurs, and ordinary people with extraordinary stories. This show is distributed on YouTube, Spotify, and iTunes, so feel free to follow us for the latest episodes. My guest today is Jonathan Paul, a fellow content creator and content strategist at Gravity Media. Some of his better-known works includes his earlier content at The Smart Local, and more recently the production of 2 seasons of the popular show Real Talk by Millennials of Singapore. In this episode, we talk about the content creators scene in Singapore and its scalability. We discuss the rising stars in the Singapore YouTube scene, as well as explore ideas for new and potentially great content. You can find all of John's work on his Instagram or YouTube. I'll leave all the links in the description below. But without further ado, please welcome my friend and fellow content creator, Jonathan Paul. Let's talk some more.
Let's go! Alright. Yes. Okay, steady.
Alright.
Is it rolling?
Yeah, it's all rolling.
Okay, nice. Can I just start off by saying that I'm very, very impressed. This was all a one-man setup. Albeit a bit unprofessional, but okay. Honoured to be part of this. Is this the first outdoor shoot?
This is the first outdoor shoot.
My mic
the mic sounds a bit janky.
Hunching over the mic.
This second-hand microphones, that's what I get you.
Right.
Second-hand microphone stands. Yeah.
Okay.
Carousel. Yeah. Hey, thanks John for being on the first ever outdoor podcast.
No worries.
Here in the what called it again? The promontory Marina Bay.
I don't understand why I was chosen for this because I hate the outdoors.
You started skipping so I thought you were a very outdoorsy guy already.
Very bad assumption. Clearly you can tell what kind of level of friendship this is. We basically don't know each other at all.
Judge based on Instagram stories.
Yes, yeah.
But okay, I chose a cooling night to get us out here.
He didn't choose a cooling night. It fucking rained. Okay.
It's cooling, But yeah, just a disclaimer: we might get kicked off anytime. So, if we get cut off, we'll try to find another spot. The security guard come or not?
Yeah, this is really stupid looking. Okay,
it's a freaking light bulb in the middle of nowhere, but
really easy.
Yeah, really but easy. Anyway, thanks a lot for being here.
Yeah, no worries.
If you guys don't know John, he's been in the content creation scene for I don't know how long. How long has it been?
Wow.
Since you started. You started TSL, right?
Yeah, I started in TSL as an intern.
When was that?
I want to say 2014? 2014?
Damn. Okay, so that's...
I was in TSL for about 4 years.
That's about 7-8 years already.
Yeah, I was in TSL for about 4 years. I left for a year to do like my own freelance shit and take a break.
Yep.
And then after that, I came back to join Gravity Media, and I've been there for about a year already.
Okay. So just these two main companies. In between, did you do like your own stuff?
In between,
you've always been doing your own stuff, right?
Yeah, so actually the reason why I even got into this in the first place was because I was doing like music covers on YouTube just for fun. And then I received a comment and a subscribe from the Smart Local.
Ooh.
And I had no idea who they were at that point of time, right? They weren't very big at that point of time also.
Yeah.
So then I was quite interested lah. So I was like, I go and like thank them and whatnot. And then I started to look up like, what are you all doing? Who is this company? And then they had open internships for the creatives, like for a creative role. And at that point, I was still in university, so I didn't know exactly what I wanted to do. But I knew I wanted to do something with media lah, right? Because I was studying comms and PR.
Oh, okay, you're studying that.
Yeah.
Right.
So I decided, let me just drop you an email, see whether if it's interesting enough, I take it lah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then thankfully, they accepted me. Even though the interview was a bit awkward and
well, I also went for one of those interviews.
Right. What? TSL?
Yeah. I applied when I was questioning my career.
When, yeah? And why this mic keep sagging? God damn it.
Twist the knob a bit more.
That's what she said.
No, what the fuck?
Sorry. Does this work? Okay.
Just don't block your face from the beautiful camera.
My face. My head too fucking big. I don't think this mic will block it. Yeah. Okay, but yeah.
Yeah. So like your own content, like you say, is mostly music.
No, wait. Let's not sidetrack first. You fucking applied for TSL.
Yeah. Okay,
For
so
yeah.
this was like, it wasn't the pandemic. It was right before the pandemic. I was thinking of switching careers because people have been asking like why, like I do all these things and it's just a side hustle. Like a lot of people are like, huh, this is not your real job.
Yeah.
So why don't you do this? And I didn't have a real answer for them why I didn't do this, except that I was scared lah. Because like I studied freaking 5 years to get my degree and then suddenly change to another job. It's quite scary. So I just tried also. I went out. I applied through TSL. Put my YouTube channel in. Because I have no qualifications in media and anything like that. So they granted me an interview based on my channel.
Right.
I actually had a channel.
Right.
So when I went down, obviously I got no qualifications. Then they asked me a couple of questions like put in a scenario, or you got this client and this one. What can you think that could be comical or what to
to
make
basically
a
come up
story.
with content for
Yeah,
a client.
yeah.
It's a true test because when you're actually on the job, you will have to ideate for clients. And we want to see how creative you can get. And another point to note is that having that right is actually better than giving you complete freedom. Because I'm giving you a direction now.
Boundaries and limits as well.
Correct, which actually helps with the creative process. Yeah.
I mean, it was quite a nice interview. I mean, I thought I did well, but I didn't get the job lah. But I think it was like asking a bit too much money for.
You're asking for a full-time position?
Yeah.
Right.
Because okay, the thing is that when you move over from a professional career to this, I knew there would be a pay drop, but I couldn't take it too low. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So at the same time, but I'm also understand that I was asking for too much for someone with no qualifications.
Okay. So two things to clarify here. One is we dial it back to how you applied, which is only with your portfolio.
Yeah.
Which I think, to be honest, in the media industry, that's all you need.
Really?
Like you don't really need like hard qualifications. If your portfolio shows what you can do, that's enough already.
Speaks more than qualifications lah.
Yes. And the other thing is that when you're jumping from industry to industry, you need to understand what the pay grades are. Because I honestly think the media industry pays a lot less than
the professional industry.
Yeah.
Of course. Yeah.
Are you secretive about what industry you're in?
No.
Okay.
I'm in the architectural industry, if anyone doesn't
Yeah.
know.
So the moment you put them side by side, I think you can understand.
Yeah. I mean, I don't blame them for not getting me in, but it was an interesting experience lah. Getting put on the spot and trying to come up with ideas of content that I don't usually make. You know?
Yeah.
But okay, wait, back to you.
Okay,
this is not about me. Let's talk about the podcast that you've been doing. I mean, the shows that you've been running.
Right.
Wait. Firstly, now you're currently at Gravity Media.
Yes, I'm currently at Gravity Media.
What's your position there?
I'm a content strategist. Yeah.
I see.
So, okay, content strategist, what do I do, right?
Yes.
I basically come up with ideas for content lah.
Okay.
I develop content ideas. When I first joined, I came in as a brand lead. The structure of the organization was a little bit different. So I was actually doing like everything start to finish, which is basically what a YouTuber does lah. Yeah, and with a team, a great team. So during that period, I created like a few series. Actually one key series lah, called Decades Apart.
Okay.
Yeah, because I thought that would be a fun project to do. Either way, yeah. Then after that, the company kind of restructured, so we had a dedicated content strategy team, and then we had a production crew and everything. So, and an editing team, right?
Yep.
So we split all those roles up, which actually ramped up the quality of everything across the board.
Of course.
Yeah. So I thought that was a fantastic decision. Of course, there are pros and cons to everything lah, but I thought that was a good decision lah. Yeah, so you can see the quality of our videos actually improve quite a lot if you watch the channels.
Alright, so okay. So tell me about the two shows that you're running at the moment. I mean, of course, you guys are doing a lot more than that, but since we're talking about podcasting,
yeah. So the main show that we are playing with right now is called the Daily Ketchup. It's a podcast that covers the latest news happenings, and then the 4 cast members are basically just sitting there and sharing their opinion on the news lah.
Yeah. Okay. So these are pretty quick, I suppose, because you are doing news, sort of news and current events, right?
Yeah.
So it has to be quite a chop kind of episode.
Yeah.
So what's the sequence in there?
Okay. So right, wow, the
It
insects.
sounds like
Last
I
morning,
did not Oh my gosh, look at the
Fuck
light.
you, you decided on the outdoor thing, so you don't kind of tell me you did not expect this. Basket. Okay, but I gotta say one thing. The chairs, right? Very, very comfortable.
Comfortable,
Where you get
right?
from? Decathlon.
Bro, I don't know where I bought it from. It was years before the Decathlon even came about.
So I'm not paid to do this, so can I just take the chair? Can I take one chair as like
You
payment
take the
for...
broken one, this one.
Really? I don't mind. No, I'm kidding. Okay, sorry. Back to the question.
Yeah.
Okay, so the workflow for the Daily Ketchup is really us consolidating the news the day before the shoot, and then the next morning, actually that same evening or the next morning, we'll shoot the episode already, and then straight away it goes to the editing team and it comes out that very night.
Yep.
Yeah, so it makes sense lah, right? It stays relevant.
Yeah. So that's a 2-day time frame lah.
It is very, very tight.
Yeah.
Very tight. Yeah. I do think that there are ways that in which we can tighten up and clean up the process a bit to make it more efficient. But at the moment, it is what it is, lor. Yeah.
Yeah, and I think it's a great way. I mean, this is the only thing closer to that would be live news or live streaming it lah. But at least the amount of flies on you.
Yes,
I think it's the white shirt. It
Right,
reflects light. Like the light is getting everything right now. Hopefully they will fly to the lights. But
Cool.
yeah. Like I said, so the only closest thing would be to do a live stream or to do live news broadcast, right?
Yes.
I mean, 2 days is pretty quick already, and the fact that it is sort of not really a reaction thing, but also your thoughts as Singaporeans here, right?
Yeah, I guess. Okay, honestly, right, I think it's similar to the original show which my boss started, which is called After Hours, or what eventually became Real Talk.
Oh, okay.
And the flavor of shows like this is really just having personalities on camera that have an authentic chemistry.
Yep.
And are willing or daring enough to share their views. Yeah, I think that is what really makes a show like that lah.
And I guess Real Talk has sort of this not concept, but this thing about like a no holds bar kind of thing, which
Yeah.
makes it very transparent and very realistic to me.
Okay, yeah, I would say that is what it is. But right, I feel like content-wise, right, I don't know if there is a shift where back then what was taboo, like talking about sex on YouTube and whatnot, Singaporeans talking about sex
Has
on
become
YouTube.
normalized now.
Yeah. So
Then
actually,
you lose
right,
your edge.
maybe a bit lah. Honestly, a bit.
Yeah.
Because like the older videos were getting like millions of views one day, like over 1 million views lah.
Yep.
So right now then, what is the next thing that we can talk about?
What is the next controversial thing that's taboo?
Yeah,
So
yeah.
lesser and lesser things in the world.
So what is
getting more-
basically going to borderline get you cancelled but not? Then
that's
you'll probably get the
risky.
views, right?
Yeah,
I don't know lah. Maybe
that's
lah.
the balance, right?
Yeah.
Somewhere in the.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, that's the main question, I guess, that you guys as content strategists has to ask yourself.
I think the main role as a content strategist is to entertain lor, at the end of the day. I mean, I'm essentially a YouTuber, but just that I'm creating content for companies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That actually brought me to one of my questions that I wanted to ask you. Like, because you have your own YouTube channel, based mainly music and short cinematic films, I would say short cinematics. How has working in a media company affected that, like, for good or for bad? You know?
As in affected my personal content creation.
Yes. Or vice versa. You know, how has your own content creation helped the company? Obviously lah, right? But in what way?
I would say that honestly, my personal channel, right, isn't really I'm not really using it at the moment. So it's the same as how if you have an Instagram feed, right? Like my personal Instagram feed, if you really wanted to monetize, you would curate.
Yeah,
Correct?
I see.
But I don't really curate my personal feed, as you can
put
see
what,
from the thread.
you just
that I
put
put.
what you want.
Correct.
Okay.
So I mean, obviously, I'm thankful for the client opportunities and whatnot lah. But if I was honestly going to do it properly, I think I could get a lot more clients. I feel it's more of you have that choice, and it's the same thing with my YouTube channel. Like I don't curate. Like I post whatever the hell I want.
Yep.
Sometimes it's really just a tester.
Okay,
Whether a certain
yeah.
idea will work or not. You know? Yeah. But for the most part, I'm just posting whatever I feel like posting. So in that aspect, right, I don't feel like I'm a content creator. But the sad thing is that I also think that is essentially going against everything that YouTube is about.
That's true.
And YouTube is really about you just being able to express yourself freely, correct?
Yes.
So this actually leads me to what you're asking about, which is that I feel like right now with money and being on the right side of things, right, YouTube will automatically kind of like push that content to trend more already. And the true essence of YouTube is no longer there, where a small creator that can just do random shit, right? Is going to blow up. Yeah, so it gets very exhausting over time when you're trying to ideate for something, I won't say virality is the benchmark of success for a content creator, but to some extent it is. You do want the views, and the views do represent something. But that said, right, I think virality in today's day and age is basically manufactured. So going back to what we are actually essentially discussing about content and where I think the future is, right?
Yeah.
It's sad yet amazing at the same time. And it's what we choose to appreciate. What I mean by this is that when you look at TikTok and people going viral on TikTok, right, it can be like some random person posting very low quality content, but it's the idea that people are looking at already. Because I think there's this facade or this wall, right, in front of audiences' eyes of high quality content. That is no longer as important as what people...
It's slowly being torn down.
Yeah, so it's not as important as what people care about. People are actually, they care more about just going straight to what is the idea and is that idea good. So that's why like platforms like TikTok and whatnot, right, where you are instantly able to garner a large audience very quickly, and people are just going there to see your ideas. When you see the edits, right, like a shittily green screen person reacting to something and that kind of stuff, like back then people put in effort to do it properly with the right lighting and so that you don't realize that it's a green screen and shit like that. Now nobody cares.
You
correct?
get the fuzzy lines also, nobody cares.
And it's little things like this. And I think a very, very good example, right, of content and where it's headed is, have you seen Bo Burnham's Inside?
No.
Do you know who is that?
No.
Okay, so Bo Burnham is a somebody who became famous on YouTube for posting comedy songs.
Okay.
So I think he was like 18 years old when he became famous. And then he climbed from there, become a comedy writer and whatnot. But he's always been like in the middle of this music and comedy kind of performance lah.
Okay.
And I think he released 2 stand-up specials already, which were fantastic. And again, they are not really stand-up. They are hybrid. The entire thing is a performance. Every word is scripted. Yeah, so it's really you're watching a play more than anything.
Yeah.
So a few weeks back, or maybe even just last week, he released a new special on Netflix, right, where he basically wrote, directed, filmed and edited, right, an entire special, right, in one room, in one house by himself. And he published it. And it's one of the greatest things I've ever seen in my life.
Okay.
Ever seen. So you can see that the quality is not amazing, but actually it is amazing, okay? But the ideas, right, that he's putting forth, right, are absolutely crazy. And he's basically commenting on what life has been because of the pandemic for a lot of people. But it's also a commentary on humanity at this very point in time. Yeah. Actually, I think the pandemic helped to make his concept more relatable to the general audience because we all suddenly kena the same situation. But I think people are already going through this for a very long time. It has a lot to do with mental wellness. It has to do with he does make there's a lot of social and political commentary within the content that he's doing also lah, which most stand-up people do. So it wasn't really a stand-up performance per se. But it was actually just a series of songs that he wrote. But I tell you what, it's so fucking meta, right? I watched it like 2-3 times already, right? I still cannot unlock all the layers of what he's talking about. You definitely have to go and watch this again and tell me what you think.
Okay.
Yeah, but it's crazy. And again, one man doing everything, but if the idea is there, right, that's all that really matters.
That's actually very good.
Yeah.
Like this is what we've been praying for, where content goes above all, like above production quality, above. I mean, all these things still matter lah. But the hierarchy is there. Like you want a movie, you can watch any movie nowadays, right? But you have to see what's behind the idea. You know all this Nolan guy, what's his name?
Christopher Nolan.
Christopher Nolan.
Nolan guy.
Sorry,
Disrespectful. Who's this Shawn guy? Huh?
Yeah, very small. This like his films are like you say, has so many layers to peel, right?
Yeah.
Like, yeah, although he shoots it really well, but it's these movies that stand out through the years next time. It's the idea and the concept behind it that's so strong that it doesn't really matter even if the actor is bad.
Wow. Okay. That one I beg to differ. But right, bringing it back to talking about evolution of content.
Okay.
Christopher Nolan and people think like big directors and whatnot, right? Hollywood, are saying like, we need the theaters to stay open. You have to watch this in a movie theater to appreciate it, all this kind of thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
But no, that's not the case, right? Content is people, the audience is evolving already. Platforms are evolving. Movies are being released. You flick through your movies on your TV already.
Yep.
So then, how? Right? It's the same with, honestly, the local scene also lah. Like, have you seen a local production be very, very successful? There is not like a small creator that's not from like, I don't want to say the company name lah, but you know who I'm talking about. They try, they get,
Not
they get.
really.
You know who I'm talking about?
No.
I'm talking about, right? Has tried their best to stay relevant.
Mm-hmm.
They've tried their best to try and come up with content that they think will work.
Yep.
They've even created arms and brought in people from that are successful content creators to try and do something more, right?
Yeah. I mean, they've also had many replica shows, right? Like
Then fail, right? All the way fail. It's a complete shift already. So then how do you adapt to that? Or do you, if you cannot, then do you just, what happens?
I mean, don't you think that, okay, there is a bright side to this movies being on TV thing. It reaches a wider audience, firstly, because now you don't have to make this critical choice of whether you have to buy a ticket and dedicate yourself to a movie, right? You can just casually watch it. If it's bad, it's bad. You know what I mean? Because previously, let's say we are all going for this movie, only a specific crowd will be dedicated enough to that director or that film to pay the money, to take the time of the day, to go to the cinema and watch it. But now it becomes so casual that it's available to much more people. Maybe 10 times more people might watch it, even though the cost went down to your subscription fees lah.
Yeah.
Right. So in that way, I see a silver lining for directors, even small directors, especially when they do indie films. They are now in the same level. They are as accessible as Christopher Nolan, as all their directors.
Yep.
And the income has also been leveled a bit more. Indie films now might have the opportunity to make as much as them, don't you think? If everybody's on the same platform.
No. I think smaller players have more opportunities to make money, but not that type of money.
Oh, yeah lah. But I mean,
Yeah.
I feel it closes the gap a bit. I'm not an analytical guy.
From the
about,
bottom, it does.
Yeah,
from
yeah,
the
yeah.
bottom, but not from the top. It doesn't bring the top players
I
down.
feel it brings, because when Netflix all this came about, you watch a lot more indie films. You watch a lot more of these shows that you've never heard of before, but Netflix recommends it. You're like, hey, I don't care who the director is, I'm just gonna watch it. And if, like you say, the idea is strong enough, who cares, right? Even if the lighting was bad, they don't have a famous actor,
Yeah.
I'm gonna watch it because it's damn interesting. You saw that show about what's the water one where she kissed the fish guy?
Hey, Del Toro, right?
Is this lady that falls in love with a fish guy?
Yeah. I know the exact movie. I can see the woman, I can see the fish. I just cannot remember
Yeah,
the movie. I
so-
know the director also.
Is the director famous?
Shape of Water.
Shape of Water.
Is it?
Yes.
Is
Was that a famous show?
Yeah, the director is ridiculously famous. What are you talking about?
Okay, then that was a damn good show. Sorry.
Bro, you damn trash.
Okay, I didn't think about that scenario. I always ask this very cliche question, which is like, what do you think is missing from the YouTube scene in Singapore?
What the if I knew, I would already be doing it.
Right. Or if there's an idea, somewhat a direction that you think we should move towards. Should it be more bigger companies or smaller creators, or do you think it's a mix of both, a collaboration of both? Do you think the mainstream media should be more collaborative with smaller medias like YouTubers? Is there a space even, because now we have all the news small YouTubers doing news as well?
Yeah.
But obviously they might not have the credibility, but they have the entertainment value. So is there a shift that you think would be the ideal direction for YouTube in Singapore?
It's a little bit sad to say, but I don't see a lot of originality. Everything is a copy of a copy. Right?
Nothing's original.
Yeah. And if it's original, is it too out there that it's very difficult to get clients?
I feel, from just my very little experience with working with clients, some of
Yeah.
them are pretty okay. They're more
Is it okay
liberal and
that the
open.
wind?
Fuck it lah, we're outdoors.
Okay.
Like the audience don't hear wind, I go indoor lah.
Okay, yeah, sorry to interrupt. Yeah, you were saying?
So I feel like nowadays more and more clients are a bit more open and liberal about like the content we make. Obviously, like I did an advertisement for, I need to censor this. But I put it with that sex video, the sex toy
Yeah.
video.
Okay.
Then they can't pay.
They were not okay with it.
They were not okay with it, but they sort of let it slide because they didn't let it slide. They told me to remove it, like just chop off that part using the YouTube editor thing. Because it didn't align with their brand.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, then give me a guideline of what aligns with your brand. But at the same time, I have worked with some other brands that are very open to these kind of things, where as long as it's entertaining and relevant, they don't mind.
Yeah.
I mean, come on, we were just taking photos of a toy and like how sensitive you want to be, right? So I don't know. I hope more and more brands will be a bit more open. That way, it gives us a bit more flexibility, right?
I think it works both ways though. You have to think of how you're going to monetize. You have to think of who your clients are going to be at the end of the day, right?
Yeah.
If you don't keep those things in mind already, then you're just going to do whatever, right? It's pros and cons again of being a content creator.
They might not get you back lah.
Yeah. So like the other day, I can't remember who I was talking to, right? But like even for you, like I think we were talking about this earlier. We were talking about this earlier also. Like if you choose to be a tech creator in a tech space,
Yep.
you know exactly who your clientele is going to be already. And then you know your first tier of clients, what kind of clients, the direct clients.
Yep.
Then you also know there's a second tier, which is like maybe almost there but not really there. So for example, like maybe hotels. You might never think of them as a tech client.
Yep.
But what if they have some new technology that they want to showcase?
Yeah.
Or you can showcase your technology within their spaces, which then highlights their facilities and
so
whatnot.
not the direct.
Correct.
Yeah.
So you need to be able to think of things like that, right? And then, right, there is the other end of the spectrum, which is like, if I'm only going to talk about what I want to talk about and do only what I want to do, then I have to be willing to make the sacrifice that, hey, maybe it's going to be a bit difficult to get clients on board. So an example would be, say I choose to promote a minimalist lifestyle. I'm not going to get a lot of products, right?
Yeah.
It goes against everything.
Yeah.
The
Not
message
everyone
that I'm
was
sending out there.
Other brands might not fit you, and you might not want to do it. Right?
Yeah.
Right.
But
Like
then that's not to say don't go and do what you want to do.
Yeah. I think what you're saying is sort of a balance between knowing what you want and what they want, and finding somewhere in between to get your content out there.
Yeah.
But at the same time, not selling your soul lah.
Yeah, I guess.
That's the money spot lah.
But you also need to really know what can monetize lah, I feel, at the end of the day.
Okay. That's a triangle. What you want, what they want, and what is
This
trends.
wasn't always the case. Because I think back then, right, you could really be a YouTuber and make money off of AdSense and whatnot. But now with so many restrictions and the way they have destroyed the monetization, right, for YouTube, right, everybody's going to other platforms already, right? Patreon, OnlyFans.
That's true.
Yeah. Are you on OnlyFans?
No.
Really? Yeah. Well, I'm shocked.
Why?
I say not as a content creator, as a consumer.
but that being said, if a creator had an OnlyFans that shows their behind the scenes, it's something like Patreon.
Yeah.
But it's like this exclusivity of seeing what goes on behind the scenes. And if they're really good, they have to be really good. Then I'll subscribe.
Yeah.
They have to be so good that I need to know how you got that shot.
Huh? You would pay for BTS?
I would pay for that. I would pay to find out how they got that shot, what goes on behind the scenes. Because I've watched, there are some channels like, have you heard Potato Jet?
Yeah.
He has a second channel where he goes behind the scenes in his life. It's not exactly behind the scenes of how he films, but it's his life. But because I'm so interested in him, that I'm willing to subscribe to another channel just to see his daily life.
Right.
So that being exaggerated, if there's a content creator like Marques Brownlee, if Marques Brownlee came out with an OnlyFans that shows how he shoots behind the scenes, I will subscribe to that shit.
Right.
Because you'll see all the magic that happens, all his thought process, things that people on the outside don't usually see, and things that he wouldn't usually publish on his main channel.
Agree. Which is why a lot of content creators actually develop courses which you pay for. Right?
Masterclass and all that.
Which is kind of the same thing lah.
Yep.
It's just that they are monetizing it a little bit differently.
Yeah. But that one feels a bit more strict, don't you think? You feel like you're in a course.
But it's structured for you to actually learn.
That's true. Yeah. Skillshare.
Yeah.
They sponsor me.
Oh, is it?
No. They never. But this would be a good plug-in.
Maybe. Yeah, nice try.
Nice try.
If you can get in, let me know as well.
Damn it. I had a friend who had sponsors from Skillshare.
Singaporean?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Can?
Can.
Do they pay well?
I have no idea. I have to ask her.
You should
But
find
it
out,
should be
should
like
find
she's quite particular about.
Right.
Yeah. But I mean, it's great that they do this type of thing, so more and more creators can do it, and they can monetize it in themselves lah.
Yeah.
But I mean, back to the question, where do you think the shift is going to?
With regards to
Singapore, the local scene.
the local scene and
Yeah.
what would excite me?
Yeah. Like what would you want to see? Okay, it may not be the direction, but what would you personally want to see?
In my own time, right, most of my time is spent watching either content that teaches me new things or stand-up comedy.
Ah, okay.
So I would actually like to see more comedians in the scene.
I would
if they are
too.
funny people, if they are funny lah.
Naturally funny people. are hard
Like
to come
even
by.
the top channels, the most recent channels that blew up that are Singaporean, right? Like Sneaky Sushi and YOLO.
Yep,
They
yep.
kind of rose during the same time, right?
Yeah.
They are essentially both their acts are comedy lah, right?
Reactive comedy
social
lah,
commentary
yeah.
kind of thing. Like Sneaky Sushi's entire thing is just scripted with jokes. But it's a mix between kind of like stand-up jokes as well as like the memes and like the younger
Yeah.
kind of edits and whatnot, right?
Mhm.
Yeah, which I do think work, and but then again it also gets a bit repetitive. But that's just my thought.
It does. But I was thinking about this because I'm a big fan of Sushi and I've been watching his content since before he blew up. Yeah, he was already pretty big, but before he really blew up,
He blew up because of the how to be a Singaporean YouTuber kind of video, right?
was it? I thought there was a scandal or something. Then he went huge after that. Okay, I don't know what it was lah.
Right.
But basically, the I have thought about what you said. Where will this be repetitive? Like, you know, every time I click his video, I know he's gonna make some sneaky comment about it and things like that. But the thing is that he has this, his source is never ending. As long as there are stupid people doing shit out there, he always has a story. He always has content, and we will never run out of stupid people. And now with social media, right, and all the filming of phones and all these things, we're getting also the pandemic bring out a lot more stupid people But these controversial, scandalous things are always coming out. But that's why I think like he won't run out of stuff to do, but he might have to adapt his style after a while. The way he brings this across needs to adapt over time. But the content, I feel it's never ending for him. It's like you will always get this until he gets tired of it.
But you're not watching it for the news, what? That he is covering. You're watching it because you're listening, trying to find out what is his take, what are the jokes he's going to.
True. I'm watching it for his reaction and his take on it. But at the same time, these people, even like Rishi, I don't know, Rishi, have you seen this? They actually take the time to go and find out all these sources, whether it's one-sided or not, I don't know. But they condense it. Because there was this whole scandal, I don't want to say names, but this girl that scammed some older man of a few $1,000. It was a fucking hour-long recording, but these guys broke it down so that it's easy to listen and easy to digest. It's basically news that's entertaining and easy to accept. So I wouldn't say I just watch it for their reaction. I watch it also for the information that has been digested a bit already.
Right.
That being said, is a disclaimer whether is it totally legit, right? They always also disclaim on their own video. This is what I know. It may not be the full facts. So we as viewers has to be a bit more sensitive and a bit more how do you say don't lean too much into one side. Like leave some room for openness. Like this is the recording we got, but that's not the full story.
So do you think it's the way Sneaky dissects the stories that makes it interesting to you? As compared to, like, for example, if you were to compare, like, say, YOLO and Sneaky, right? Then if they cover the same piece of news.
I do watch YOLO. I don't follow him as much. Sneaky I watch because of his comedic value.
Right.
But Rishi is the one that I feel he puts in a lot more effort into the dissecting of these
So
stories.
out of the three?
I would say Sneaky is the most entertaining. Rishi is the most informative.
So if you only could choose one to click on, which one would you click on?
Sushi.
So the entertainment mode is the most important lah.
Yeah.
But then it brings me back to the question. Are his jokes, do you feel his jokes are almost always the same every episode? Or do you think that he tries his best to evolve the humor?
I think it hits differently. It's funny because it's always making fun of something, and it's always like projecting what we are already thinking.
Right.
So it snaps the relevancy there already. But whether it's repetitive, I can't say for sure because every story is kind of different from each other.
Okay.
So to me, I have to strictly say it's not repetitive because every story that he presents, it's different. So you can't. Yeah, the jokes may sound the same, but it's about a different context.
So actually something interesting that I have been thinking about also is what is the value of an independent content creator, and can that value be bought, right, into an organization? So for example, if you look at Sneaky, right, would you hire him into your architectural firm to build up a media arm? And do you think he'll be able to pull that something like that off? You know what I mean? That means it's not his content already,
Yep.
but because he is able to, he was able to this is essentially his portfolio at his channel.
Yeah.
I'm just very curious whether somebody like that would be able to carry what they have learned and their experience over to an organization.
I say very hard. Okay. One example is Oji-san, you know, the Japanese guy that's in Singapore.
Yeah.
I love his vlogs. The way he randomly speaks Japanese sometimes here and there, and the casualness of it. He just goes about, you know. And the whole concept of his channel was just an outsider living in Singapore and his reaction to things. It's a very simple concept. But once he started doing those TV shows, I felt that the essence was lost.
TV shows?
Yeah, he started hosting TV shows. Where they do a lot more bigger stories, but I feel his essence was gone. Him as a YouTuber and him as a TV host, he did a meme or something like that. He put him as a YouTuber and him as a TV host. I felt a difference.
Right.
I didn't want to watch the TV hosting, not because it was bad, but I just felt that there was a sense of agenda and something that's holding him back from his true self.
Right.
The flow didn't feel the same.
Was it edited by him? No, right?
No.
Oh, okay.
It was for, I can't remember if it was or something like that. I'm gonna have to bleep a lot of shit out.
Yeah.
But I don't. It was for. It was on TV. It was on TV.
Right.
Yeah. So, in that sense, I feel that you cannot bring a small creator and make him do something else in a bigger company and expect the same results. Because he has lost his freedom, his mojo lah, basically. And what he has learned is it's curated to himself.
Yeah.
Like what you've done for music, the way you film it, the way when you post it, all these things, it's curated to yourself. It's not curated for a big company where they have a different audience, a different agenda, a different, you know, everything is different.
Would you say that is the same as native advertising? If you're not getting clients, say your content is very, very good, but it's a niche where it's very hard to monetize.
Yep.
Then what besides just doing it as a passion, right? Where else will it lead?
That's true.
Because YouTube
yourself,
is not
right?
funny. You know yourself. YouTube takes a shit ton of time.
Yep.
A ridiculous amount of time. I'm actually very impressed. Okay, honestly, can I just say to the people who are watching and people who subscribe to you, like I'm very impressed by what you're doing. And when I see you setting up, like even today, right, like the amount of passion and drive that goes into be able to smile as you drag 50 kg of equipment by yourself and set it all up into a field that you don't know whether you can use.
I should take a background photo
I'm
of this.
like, I don't understand how you can do this, yeah.
I mean, at the end of the day, you know, like I said, it takes. I don't know why I enjoy doing this. It's very painful, but I think, to me, like I don't know if this podcast will ever make money, you know. But it's sort of like I want to know that I did it because I wanted to, and not because somebody paid me or because I was on a budget or, you know, on some job. But I did it because I was like, hey, weekend free, I want to talk to my buddy John, like come down to the middle of MBS and just set up a light.
But at the back of your mind though, don't you hope that more people see this? Because at the end of the day, who are you creating content for? You're creating it for people to watch, to consume, so that they can get whatever value you are trying to create for them, correct?
Yeah, definitely.
So
but
then how do you find, like, how do you then grow
why are you
that
interviewing
audience?
me?
Sorry. No, we are two content creators talking, right? So let's just talk. Yeah.
Okay. So can you repeat your question?
Okay, yeah. So how do you get more people to watch your content? Because as much as you're saying that, hey, this is just what I want to do because I enjoy it.
Yeah.
Right? But at the end of the day, as a content creator, you are trying to create a piece of content for audiences to gain value from.
Yes.
So in order to do that, you need to impact as many people as possible. And how do you grow those eyeballs?
So it's like the video that I just made where I gathered all the chairs, all the different brand chairs, gaming chairs in Singapore, and put them in one room and compared it all together. Because I knew people were asking this question, which one is better? Which one is better? This one or this one? This one or this one? And I'm so tired of telling them or answering them. And it's so difficult to compare so many to so many specifics. So I gathered all the chairs. It was a freaking logistical nightmare. And it was just one-man show. I logistics, lighting, everything set up. I had a couple of friends there, but they were just there to help with the
review,
engagement and the review.
Right.
Yeah. So I knew I wanted to do, it's still tech. I really wanted to share my opinions and my friends' opinions about what they think was the ultimate chair, or whichever is within that number of chairs.
Okay.
And at the same time, I knew that was what Singaporeans were thinking. Which of these chairs, after, A4, Sequel, all these keep pushing ads to me, which one should I buy?
Yeah.
So 4 or 5 people who know about tech, who has been reviewing all the different chairs, come together and talk like friends. Which one do you think is better? Why? You like this one? You like, but you can pay for it or not? I cannot, because we always get sponsored, right?
Yeah.
So I have to put a disclaimer. Say if I had to buy that, I can't afford.
So you basically you're comparing among across several benchmarks lah.
Yes.
Affordability,
Comfort, aesthetic, all these
everything lah.
things.
Yeah.
But
So what came out top?
what came out top?
Yeah.
The top ones were Ergo Tune. Wait. Royal Ergonomics came out. Top.
Royal Ergonomics.
Yeah, they're the ones that do the custom chairs for a lot of streamers.
I never hear before.
They because they sent me a freaking Napa leather chair. That's the leather that kind of. So
Right.
it's damn premium. And secondly, because of the customizability, it's also very aesthetic. You can do it to a very nice
Is it the most
standard.
expensive though?
No.
Oh wow.
The most expensive was this Martian Gear chair that was like almost $900.
Okay.
And it's a mesh chair.
Right.
But it's comfortable, it looks sexy, but it's so expensive.
Was there a surprise? Your YouTuber voice just came out there.
Is it?
yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Because you're reviewing tech now.
Oh, sorry. Yeah. Okay. But
No, I wanted to ask, was there a chair that surprised you? Like the results surprised you all? Like everybody thought like this chair is damn good, but actually nobody thought it was good or something, you know what I mean?
there was. The
Cannot say, they
chair-
paid you, so you cannot say.
No. The surprising thing is those that didn't make it into the cut, which is like Razer. Razer, one of the more expensive chairs, one of those who focus on lumbar support, all these new
And a
technology.
lot of people talk about it
And
also,
a lot
right?
of people talk about it. It was
Yeah.
viral for a while, but it didn't even make the cut because we knew
Right.
it was too expensive and it just didn't come with as many options as the others.
Right,
So
right,
the flexibility wasn't there. So the other one also, the Osim Predator. Have you seen that one? Osim came out with a chair.
A gaming chair?
Gaming chair.
What?
That has a massager.
Yeah lah, they better have a massager lah, basket.
At first glance, that's a JJ Lin one. They sponsored JJ Lin and all his friends.
You will never even hear about
And
it.
they never sponsor all the content creators.
Yeah,
one. They
yeah,
only
yeah.
give to the celebs. So we were like, we have to put this into
Because
the test,
Osima,
right?
the marketing team, all China and all.
So there goes my opportunity to work with them. No, but I got it from a friend of a friend who actually bought it. So I borrowed it, and then we were so surprised that it was really bad.
Right.
It was so bad that
Were you
it couldn't.
surprised?
Yeah, I was surprised. I thought it would do better.
Right.
Yeah, the ones that were also a bit surprising was Secret Lab. I never felt Secret Lab was as comfortable as the rest, but it still made it in because of its virility.
Right.
Like it. Oh gosh, there's a doggy. Yeah. Secret Lab made it in because of how famous they are.
Yeah.
But nothing super famous. Where the dog
So
go?
cute.
So cute.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Just let it run. The perks of
What,
having an
how-
outdoor shoot.
I can't even see the dog anymore.
You run damn far. They're
Right.
chasing it.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
So like back to what you said lah, like finding the balance between what you think will go slightly, no, I wouldn't say viral, but do well, and what you actually want to do. It's a hit and miss still, but I try to find it.
Right.
Something I really think I'm interested in, and something that I know people are interested in. For example, home security. I did a video on a security camera that's wireless, it's battery operated, so you don't have to change it or what. Because nowadays we are always getting deliveries at home, right? Because we order shit and because we're stuck here. Hello. None of the cameras can see him.
Yeah.
But okay. Bye-bye. I'm gonna put a picture of a cute puppy. You guys can't see it for reference. Yeah, the security camera. Because I knew people were staying at home, people were ordering a lot more shit from Shopee and Lazada. So what better way than to have a camera outside your door that alerts you whenever a package comes. So it's something that I knew I wanted because I was ordering a lot of shit and I knew that's what people wanted.
Right.
And so that kind of video does well. By the way, it is illegal to put a camera at your HDB.
Huh?
Yeah, it's not
Like
allowed.
outside, the door.
Yeah, it's not allowed.
But what about if my
The doorbell one, right?
if it's my eye hole also?
That's why I don't know how sensitive they are to it.
Right.
But I know I went on HDB website to search. You need a permit, and the permit, the reason needs to be good. It needs to be like your neighbor stealing your underwear, that kind of shit.
Then you go and put
Then you can put
with the permit.
Yeah, you need to have a permit to put a camera at
But
your
by the time you
HDB.
get a permit, they also would probably have given a warning already by the police or something, right?
Yeah, but it's just that if you live in constant fear, your neighbor keep harassing you or something like
Yeah.
that, then that's a reason for it.
Yeah.
But strictly speaking, you're not allowed to put.
Because it can function as like a weird
Yeah,
like survey.
Where got people put camera everywhere, that kind of thing.
Shit, please censor that. I cannot say that.
Yeah.
Oh, you all cannot survey anybody, but we can survey all of you.
That's true. Yeah. Okay, then what about you? I see your channel is a bit more casual nowadays, right?
My personal channel?
Yeah. Do you
Dude,
see?
my
Do you see
personal channel I
yourself?
say it anyhow.
Yeah lah, but do you see yourself like trying to push your music a bit more, making like music videos, your own music? Because you sometimes also stream your music on IG live.
Yeah, that one died a long time ago lah. No, okay. Let's talk about music lah.
Yeah.
Okay. So with music, right? I honestly do it as a hobby and for fun. But I don't think I'm at a level, anywhere near a level where I can push the boundaries as a musician.
Okay.
Yeah. So I'm really just doing it for fun. Music videos, right, don't even need to say lah. If to me, I will only do a music video if there's a concept that I want to play with, and to me it's fun. But that's just the video side of me.
Yeah.
Yeah. But they are two separate entities altogether. I did try to explore writing music, which was something very new for me, but difficult lah. Like
I mean, like what we were talking about earlier. Can you? Yeah, maybe you don't have the quality, but if you have an idea, do you think you can push this?
that's the struggle, dude. It's the ideas, and something that I've come to realize also. Your ability to write is the most important thing. Your ability to have a message and an opinion and formulate those things together into something that
It's
you can
elegant and
communicate
flow,
well, right? Is all that matters, which is why your almost every video that you see out there is a script. Is just communicated that way. Like on Instagram as well. People don't even care about images already. You just put the text like carousel. They want to share the most already, right?
Yep.
It's just those communicating those ideas, and I'm somebody who doesn't want to hold a strong opinion on a lot of things, because I think that anything can change at any time.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's fair.
And I can be swayed at any point of time, because I think I would like to say that I'm quite open-minded lah, in that sense. So then how do I then push out something if I cannot form an opinion on it? And the other things also, experts in specific fields, educating people on certain things. Like, that is a golden opportunity. I wish I had a skill set or an expertise in a certain area that I can then put onto media. For example, if you already study architecture like fuck already, right? You dedicate your life like half, like I would say a quarter, less than a quarter of your life lah, to architecture already. That all that hidden information, right, you could easily tap into it, right, and create a YouTube channel that educates people or shows them. You could link pop culture trends to architecture, and combine the two.
I could easily say the same about what you're doing right now. The social media aspect of it, on what you as a content strategist think. You might be giving away a lot of secrets lah, but isn't that what you're doing? That's your niche. That's not your niche, sorry. That's your knowledge.
Yeah.
Right? Same as what a lot of people have asked me before, why don't you do something with architecture? But to me, personally, I'm a bit more afraid, because, you know, there are expert opinions out there. And, you know, me as a junior architect, I might not know everything. So,
but then that's the POV you go with as a junior architect.
That's true.
These are the things that I perceive.
That's true.
And you don't even need to come from a place of expertise. You can come from a place of like, why is City Hall designed this way? Or what inspired Fullerton Hotel's architecture? Fun facts, fun architectural facts about Fullerton Bay Hotel.
That's true.
Dude, your content endless.
I have thought about things like that. I've even thought about like critiquing some of these home reno videos. Because home reno videos out there, a lot of them make it look very pretty and things like that. Using, you know, timber look-alike tiles and shit like that. And then people don't see like, it looks good at the start, but what happens over the years?
Dude, this is the content people die for.
Yeah.
I swear.
But at the same time, it makes me very controversial, which I'm kind of afraid to.
Why? Call it out lah.
It's like you say you don't want to stick on a certain opinion, right?
Yeah. But if you're calling out those bluffs, then you recommend a particular company, right, that doesn't do this because they want...
It's like starting a war. It's like...
But whose side do you want to be on? The cheap fuckers who are scamming people? Or you want to be on the side of quality?
That's true.
If you already made that choice already, right, then go with it lah. There's no sacrifice there already, right?
I mean, I have subscribed to like architectural channels, but none of them really do this type of there are some that actually critique on home renovations. Like
Yeah.
what people say, oh wow, this is a fabulous design. What this cupboard can do this and that. Say like, yeah, but how much is like the impracticalities of some of these inventions lah.
Yep.
Yeah, like recently I saw don't know what pull down. You know those style of cupboards that got those rack that you can sort of pull down because you're too short.
Okay.
Yeah, but the thing is that
Why get the rack in the first place? Oh,
no,
space lah. Space. Okay.
They want to
okay,
get it. They want to get their hanging clothes thing as high as possible.
Right.
But there's a little bar that you can just pull down so that it becomes your level
Yeah.
and you can do it.
Okay.
But the thing is that it's very hard to explain. I'll try to explain it on video. But when the rod is up here like that, and when it turns down to where you're at, this radius actually changes from what you have here and what you have here because there's a cupboard floor.
Yeah.
Right? It does this. So
Yeah.
now it's that much. Which means every time you do that, your clothes are going to get dragged.
Right.
Your clothes are going to get crumpled and you're not going to be able to put too long of an item there.
Yeah.
So there's some impracticalities in that people don't see and there are some channels that just promote it because it's like, wow, this is great invention. But it's like, for someone like me who designs this sort of thing,
Yep.
I like know like, oh, it's not practical at all.
Yeah, but this is perfect, I swear. And honestly, right, this is only one content pillar of an architecture. Of an architecture. Wow, my English.
The English.
Yeah. Of architectural content, right?
Yeah.
So this could just be one segment, just you reacting to this most recent like renovation like video or whatever kind of thing. Dude, I swear, right?
Yeah.
If you called out like the latest NOC video, for example, because they are doing all this reno stuff, right?
Yeah.
If you started calling out shit, right, I think you would gain some traction, you know?
Yeah. I mean, NOC has done a great job with these Reno King stuff lah.
Yeah.
I feel it's entertaining. But at the same time, it's branded content. Obviously, it's branded content. Every single thing, I cannot say this. Every single thing, it has a brand. It has a promotion about it. But nobody talks about the critical side of it. Why it's not good. Why you shouldn't do this and that.
Because, okay, I just want to say first, right, I'm actually very impressed with NOC and their ability to evolve their channel, switch it, like from a comedy skits channel, transforming that into a food channel,
like
and then now into home reno.
Yeah. It's amazing, right?
And
they
the fact that they're able to monetize all of that so well.
It started with Ryan's house. He did his house. Then after that, then everything started to flow. Like people were like, oh, I want promo code for this. Where to get this ID? Interior designer. Where to get this cupboard? All this thing. Then after their other cast, Sylvia, all this, they started to renovate their house as well because all the sponsors started coming in. But the thing I always critique. Okay, I'll give one example. His house is really, I would say it's nice, but at the same time, you see the amount of wood, the wood texture that he uses in the whole house. There's too many.
Okay.
There isn't an accent or there isn't a focal point in the house. From walls to floors to ceiling, it's all timber. And it's all different timber, mind you. Because what you're using on cabinets are laminates and veneers. Right? Which is, veneers are actually small sliced wood.
Yeah.
So it's actual wood.
Yeah.
Laminates are like plastic manufactured wood. And then there are the ones on the floors, which are tiles, which is ceramics.
Okay.
It's a different type.
Okay.
And then they have the ceilings, which is also another different type, engineered wood or something. So basically, what I'm trying to say is that, yes, wood looks nice, but it doesn't match. As a designer, you would never use so much wood everywhere.
Right.
You would put a focal point. Either your floor is wood, or your ceiling is wood, or your walls are wood. You don't do all three because they never match. It will never match.
Right.
When you use different materials, although it looks like wood, it will never match.
Right.
Secondly, like I say, there's no focal point. People come into your house, it's like one big like wooden house, right? Third is the feeling of wood. You step on a ceramic tile
Feeling
wood.
of wood.
My gosh. You had to go there. No, but the texture and the feeling is very different.
Maybe so do you feel a lot of wood?
Yeah. Everywhere I go.
You just fell for that, man.
No, I knew you were doing it. The smirk on your face gave it away.
Okay.
But to me, that's the critical thing.
Yeah.
Like you said, there is a content for that. But whether I'm brave enough to go into that, that's a different story.
Agree.
I just don't want to be. I don't want to be controversial.
Yeah, I get what you mean.
Yeah.
So I mean, approach is also everything. Like, I think Singaporeans just like a lot of drama, right? Yeah.
Of course.
So that's why going with that hook, right?
Yep.
Would probably do a little bit better.
Yep.
But there are a million ways to do to do one thing,
Of
right?
course, you can do it tactfully and respectfully.
Yeah.
You know, like I said, NOC has done great in putting all this effort into making these videos. It has inspired so many people to renovate their houses. Yes, everything in their house is branded and promoted, but that's because they're trying to hit as many people as possible. If you don't like the floor, then my cupboard looks better. You want a cupboard? Okay, then go to the kitchen, that kind of thing. But in the end, his whole house looked like a showroom.
Okay lah, but honestly, right, I'm half about homes.
Okay. What do you mean?
What I mean is that I can look at a very nice home and be like, wow, like this place, like the best wood tables, like the lines of this house are amazing. Even the way they use lighting and shadow and blah blah blah, that kind of thing, right?
Yep.
Like mad respect kind of thing, like or the Scandinavian look, which is like the fucking trend.
It's just wood.
It's damn disgusting. But then, right, I can go to somebody's house, right? Like everything is a mess.
Yep.
The kids' toys are all over the fucking place. The toilet, right, is super cluttered with like a magazine stack here and those kind of thing, right?
Yeah.
And I fucking love it. Because there's so much character to the home.
I see.
You know what I mean?
I see what you mean. So it's not as clinical, like so pristine, but it's a home, not a house.
Yeah.
That's the difference.
Okay, yeah. I guess.
Yeah. I totally agree. Sometimes when you look at those videos of not home rentals, that people featuring, what's that channel on? There's a very good channel in Singapore that features houses in Singapore.
Property Lim Brothers?
No.
Oh,
No, they are actually like a interior design or architectural channel that features very interesting houses, HDBs in Singapore. Like jumbo flats that they reno into Japanese style or something like. If I know the channel, I'll put it on the
It might be
screen.
CNA. Because I know they are doing some home series also.
What is it called? But anyway, the thing is that they film it very nicely and very pristinely. But we all know nobody's house is like that.
Yeah.
So like I get what you mean, but there's no character in some of these houses. Whereas you rather have a house that's actually it looks like a home.
Yeah.
You have your kids like drawing on the wall or some shit like that.
Yeah.
But some of these things don't sell on social media lah.
Yeah lah.
Right.
Okay lah, but I get your difference lah. Home and a house, two different things.
Home and a house is a different thing.
Okay, agree.
But yeah, definitely, I might look into architectural.
I support you.
I'll get a bit more experience first. Yeah,
Right,
I'm in the
right.
midst of taking my license.
Huh? Still don't have?
Yeah, you need. Okay, so architecture, right? After you study for 5 years to fucking get your master's degree, you need your master's, then you work for 2 years at least to get experience, and in that 2 years you have to log your progress. Then you can sit for the exam. So
Must you study again for the exam?
Yes.
Right.
You have to study again for the exam. There's 2 written exams and 1 oral interview.
Okay, and then after that what happens?
Then they will see whether you pass or fail.
And if you pass, then what happens?
You can call yourself an architect.
What the hell?
It's like being a lawyer. Lawyer
Yeah.
have to sit for the bar. You have
Yeah.
to sit for this exam.
So
when you are qualified, that allows you to sign off on drawings
Yeah.
that get actually built.
okay.
Which means you're responsible for that building for about 10 years.
Shit.
So there comes a lot of responsibility, but there's also not a lot of perks, but it's the
pay freaking good lah.
No lah, it's a bit better because now you are important to the company.
Yeah.
That's getting a bit of detail, but basically
Now you're important to the family, so now you're worthless, like you don't have to pay
now
for.
I quite worthless.
Shit.
To get your license, it's a very big thing for the company because it opens them up to more government jobs. The more registered architects you have in the firm, the more types of jobs you can do for the government.
Right.
Because they see how they judge based on the wind is blowing the light. They judge the amount of qualified person in
Am I
the
got
firm.
2 sandbags?
2 sandbags only.
Yeah.
Based on it's just like how capable you are, how
Yeah.
capable the firm is, based on how many qualified people you have. Yeah. So in that way, it's also a form of recognition to know that you have done all you can in the architectural world and you're qualified.
Right.
It's like being a lawyer. You don't start at being a paralegal.
Yep.
Go all the way to be a lawyer. Okay,
It's-
they still got the judge and all that lah.
Yeah.
But that's the next level.
No,
lah.
so right now you are about to take the.
Yeah, I'm about to take the exam at the end of the year.
What does that? Is that pay jump after you pass?
I have no idea. But we don't do it for the pay jump. Honestly, we know the pay jump isn't going to be
You do it
big.
for the respect.
We do it honestly for the respect and the name.
Okay,
Because-
so in a company of 100 people,
yeah,
how many are architects and how many are like
I would
you now?
It's hard to say. Like it would be maybe a 20% in a
Only
yeah. The rest are either junior architects like myself, draftsmen.
Yeah.
There's renderers who do the imagery.
Yeah.
There are accountants, admin, all this type of thing.
So
only
it's
a
like,
very
like individually boxed roles lah, rather than doing the.
So usually the
actual-
registered architect will be the lead architect
Right.
that heads the whole project, and underneath her there'll be a few. Him or her underneath him or her there'll be like a bunch of different junior architects or just senior architects that may not be qualified.
Right.
Yeah, but the guy who has to sign off in the end is the qualified person.
Are there a lot of people who? Okay, no. Before I ask this question, how much does it cost to get to this point?
Oh, the exam?
No, like everything.
Oh, I have no idea. My education was about 300,000.
300,000.
Yeah, I went overseas, ma.
The shit.
Okay, but that aside, that's going overseas. If you do it locally, then that's fine. But I was
How much is it locally?
I don't know lah. I was too dumb to make it into NUS lah.
But you should know how much, right? Roughly lah.
No lah, it wouldn't cost you that much lah.
Half?
Singapore more than half.
So 200.
Because you go overseas, you're paying for rent and all that
Yeah,
shit
yeah.
as
So
well.
200.
No lah, even less. I don't think it even crosses 100K. Your
So-
tuition fees in local university shouldn't be that much, right?
So you'll be for masters,
Yeah, you did local, right?
ish. You
Right.
did private lah.
I mean,
Private.
okay. Private is a bit more
No, so
expensive.
like my degree cost me like what 30K.
Yeah lah, it's around there lah.
But yours is masters, mah?
Yeah lah, yeah, a bit more lah. That's why I say it won't
It's
pass.
not a bit
I don't
lah.
think it will pass 100. I don't think it will pass 100 in Singapore. I might be wrong.
Yeah.
But I mean,
And then this paper cost how much? Cheap. Few thousand.
4-5.
4,000-5,000.
Yeah.
Okay lah.
Because
okay
it includes like classes and lessons and shit like
Right,
that. as well.
right.
Yeah. But anyway, it's a long road. That's why I'm also struggling whether to give up or not. But
Hey, don't give up, man.
shouldn't
Don't give up. Yeah, I want to see
No,
one
it's-
day
it's-
one building there, then I see your name at the bottom.
I mean, it's a very tough industry lah. I wouldn't recommend it to anyone.
Wait, can you actually see the name of the
No
architect?
lah.
Huh? So like if this building here, I will never know who is the
No lah,
architect.
you won't
eh.
know lah. Unless you
Walao.
Google. Okay, like you see like MBS.
Yeah.
You only research then you know.
Right.
But it is by a famous architect, Moshi Sharti.
Not Singaporean. ah?
No.
Hey, okay, since you're architect, I just want to ask one architectural question.
Siala.
Since this is in the background also. Is it true that this is incomplete? That the actual concept was for there to be 4.
Yeah.
It's true.
Yeah. I thought they were going to do it. I think they're going to do it.
So it wasn't supposed to be like a boat looking thing. It was supposed to end like symmetrically.
Oh, you mean whether symmetrically or not? I don't know if it was supposed to be symmetrically.
Right.
But I know that there's supposed to be a fourth or
fourth one.
even a fifth tower.
Right.
I don't know whether the boat is supposed to be coming out the other side.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Even if it was symmetrical, it would still be a boat lah, right?
Yeah. But in a way, it looks, now that you point it out, it looks incomplete.
Right.
I've never actually looked at it from this side before.
Because it's the end of the boat is flush
It's
to
just
the
flush.
last pillar.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It doesn't, okay, it sticks up a bit, but not noticeable
But
enough.
in an awkward way.
Okay, but my problem with this building,
Shit. Lie.
is that it's become such an icon in Singapore.
Mm.
We should not make such things an icon in Singapore. Because there's so much more to Singapore, right? You don't want people to, how do you say, I had a problem with some of these overseas architecture or not overseas architecture, done by somebody else.
Okay.
Or even not a significant part of Singapore that becomes an icon. What has MBS done to Singapore? I mean, besides making all the gamblers, but what has MBS done to Singapore that is so significant? I mean, compared to all the different shop houses here, they have more history in Singapore. I feel
Right.
that this is a very sad icon. For other people overseas to come here and be, or even overseas when they're looking at it, think, oh, this is Singapore, and then they see the 3 freaking towers like that.
Yeah.
I would want them to see a lot more. I would want them to see, historical places in Singapore or what our culture is really like. Because this was done by an outsider. And this was done commercially.
Outsider. Okay.
Right? This was done commercially for revenue and things like that. It wasn't done as a monument or anything like that.
But
you go to
that-
the US, it's the Statue of Liberty.
No. Okay, it's the Statue of Liberty, but then they also have that thing that I climbed the all staircase one.
Oh, that one. Oh, you climbed that one.
Yeah, bro. I went to the top.
But that's not an
Then-
icon. That is an attraction.
It is iconic.
It-
It's the what at Hudson I can't remember the name lah. But okay. But I get your point. But at the same time, right? I think has to be a balance of new and old. Not everybody cares about the old stuff and the history.
Yeah. I'm not saying old stuff, but things that actually matter.
Like
I don't
an
think
infinity pool that high. I mean,
I don't think
I
this.
think that matters.
I think this
No,
this
kidding.
is overly hyped, but that's my opinion.
Right.
It's not one of my favorite.
Have you stayed there
buildings.
before?
Yeah.
Have you been to the room's not bad, what? Okay lah, to pay a bit overpriced but if you want to
It
sponsor us,
is.
please.
Okay.
We don't mind having a podcast in your.
I
in your
feel the
infinity pool.
rooms are very. It's just rooms. There's no
Right.
character to it. You go there for the luxury of being at the top of the infinity pool.
Yeah.
Inside the room, you don't give a shit. It just looks like a normal room.
Right.
But anyway, that's just my 2 cents of it.
Damn. Hey, really, yeah. I'm for this. I'm for this architectural content. Now I'm looking at all the buildings, analyzing, trying to see like what will you say about it.
Yeah, but you see again, like a lot of people would disagree. But that's what makes good content, right? Like,
Yeah. They do it lah, bro. I tell you.
Siao.
Like you know the story of this sales building.
No, I don't know. I don't know too much about all the buildings.
Got controversy on it.
This one,
Yeah.
why? Tell me.
Apparently, a lot of, like, even this one also, right? A lot of, like, foreigners just buy out the whole thing. Then a lot of people complain.
Oh,
Yeah. They say you
that I've heard
then-
before. Yeah,
then not
I've heard
for
the
local,
monopoly
then-
of it.
Ah.
I mean, have you seen the sale at Reflections by the Bay?
The sale at Reflections.
Keppel
by the
Bay.
Bay. Oh, yeah,
you
that's
see the one?
beautiful.
Yeah, it's very nice, right?
Yeah.
Daniel
Flop, right?
Daniel Lipskin.
What? Who's that?
It's some Angmo guy.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, but famous architect, one of the star architects.
Yeah.
Right. But I think, I say the idea and everything is very interesting. They even had some structural problems because you know if it curves, right, how can your columns,
Yeah.
your beams start to turn there?
Yeah.
So they had their problems, you know, construction and all that things. But when I visited it, it was the most empty building I've ever seen. The ground floor was so sterile. There wasn't kids playing. There wasn't greenery that was flourishing everywhere. It was a desert land. You know,
Right.
the roads, there wasn't even markings because they wanted to keep it pristine, right?
Yeah.
Like it was just so empty and so hostile. I
Yeah.
don't know. It didn't feel like a home.
How come you can go there?
I sneak in. Last time when I drive Uber, right, you just go to gate.
You drove Uber?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Sorry,
Yeah.
I forgot your degree 300K.
No, that's in between like Chinese New Year come back, like 1 month, then I go and Uber. So when I was doing Uber, it's like you just go to any architectural place, right, that you want to go into and just say, Uber pickup. Then they just let you in.
What?
Yeah, just
life
go
hacks,
in,
yeah?
park, and then I take photos, walk around, that kind of thing,
Right.
to go and see the architecture lah. So a bit disappointing lah, that building to me.
Okay, sorry. So, do your usual podcast stray this far from?
No.
Okay, I apologize, but I think this is very
No,
interesting.
It's fine.
Okay. Last question about architecture.
Yeah.
What's your favorite building in Singapore?
Oh fuck.
I think Ion damn impressive.
Screw Ion. You know Ion looks like a middle finger.
Huh?
Because it's all bubbly around, right?
Uh-huh.
Then it has a little tower that goes up.
Is it?
It looks like a middle finger.
Hey, dude, this is gold. By the way,
It's
this is
damn funny.
fucking
It's
gold.
damn funny.
Yeah.
I have a favorite.
Ah.
I have a favorite. This is legit. This is not I just think of one.
Okay.
Legit. This is
Sure.
called, this building called the Concourse. Have you seen it? It's a hexagonal shaped one that's down Beach Road. I show you the picture, you sure go, oh.
Oh, 2D building.
No. 2D building is where I
Oh.
work now. That one is called the Gateway.
2D building, nice. 2D building, super
2D building is
impressive. Hello. It's just stupid waste of space on the floor plan, right? Who won the corner office?
It's actually pretty, yeah. This one.
Or is it well thought out? Oh, Singtel. Or is it still Singtel?
No, I think it's somebody
It
else.
was Singtel.
No,
for
but
the longest time.
I love this building.
Yeah.
It just has so many. Okay, layers is one way to say it,
Uh-huh.
but it just has so much of this geometry that's going on. That
Yeah.
felt like it's old, but it's new at the same time. It feels like you're trapped in two different times.
Yeah,
like
I get
the
what you mean.
old, and then it looks like Star Trek as well.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's my favorite one.
Interesting pick. Very interesting pick.
Right.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
wouldn't
yeah.
think of that building.
Yeah. No,
Yeah.
you know my favorite. Okay, I just tell you my favorite. Like,
Yeah.
even though I'm not architect or whatever, is the slabs that stack on top of each other like Lego one. Near Queensway.
Alexander. Interlace.
Interlace.
The interlace. Actually, a lot of people have asked me about my opinions on the interlace.
Yeah, I think damn nice, right? But I heard it flopped like mad in terms of sales here in Singapore because it's is the feng shui not good when
is it?
when you face like another neighbor diagonally or some shit.
I would think so. Feng Shui is pretty complicated.
Yeah.
But okay, the problem I have with that building,
Got a lot of problem with buildings, yeah.
it looks nice from far.
Ah.
It looks nice from far. I also sneak in that one.
Okay.
It feels very intimidating when you're there.
Why?
Because the blocks are like 8 to 10 stories high and it's so big and chunky
Uh-huh.
that it's actually Lego. There's
Yeah.
no balcony. There's no balconies. There's no in and out, that kind of thing.
Right.
So it feels too massive. Something we take note of in architecture is also the scale.
Yeah,
the
yeah,
scale
yeah.
of how you feel in front of a building
When you're
matters a lot.
intimidated,
Yeah.
Okay.
It feels so intimidating that it shouldn't be a home. That was my issue
Right.
with that building. It looks great from like drone shots and all these things. It's a great idea.
Yeah.
But it needs to be scaled down so much.
Yeah.
That maybe one block is maybe 10 units the most.
Yeah.
Right? 5 on each side or something like that. Something small. Right? Then it becomes a bit more like, you imagine like those container chatuchak, that kind of thing.
Okay.
Right? It feels a bit more intimate.
Yeah.
It feels like you can talk to your neighbor, all these things. But this one feels too big. It feels
Right.
like there's a giant block right there.
You see, this
That was my fault.
this is exactly what I want to hear. This is exactly the content that I want to hear, you know.
My
Because
gosh.
everybody sings praises.
Yeah.
But if I hear an expert suddenly tell me like, oh, this is actually the issue, what professionals take note of.
Okay.
Hey,
Yeah,
this is the
yeah.
new
Oh
segment
my
already
gosh.
lah. Hey, start a new channel, steady.
Oh yeah, I was telling you about the Vivo City.
Ah.
It was done by this very famous architect called Toyo Ito.
Yeah.
Fucking famous. Like Japanese architect, one of the most famous.
Okay,
in the
what
world.
else has he done that I would know of as a layman?
I tried to name in Singapore, but
No, it doesn't have to be Singapore. Like it's so famous. The building's so famous internationally that I will be like, wow.
internationally.
Hey, why you need to Google? It's
No,
because
because
so
I
famous.
don't know if it's internationally like you would know. Because there
Look
are
down on me,
he has some buildings called like the Church of Light. Have you heard of that?
See?
Sendai Media Tech. Have you heard of that?
No, I need to see.
Okay, maybe this one you might know. This is one of his. Have you seen this?
Yes. I've seen that before.
So this is I believe this is a pavilion.
Right.
The Arc Pavilion that they do annually lah. They select different architects to do it.
Right.
So basically the story of Vivo City, from what I've heard lah, was that he designed it. You can see that there was some vision to Vivo City. You can see like the facade, the weird shape that's like on the car park, right?
Yep.
Yeah. But the thing is that the contractor or what that did it in Singapore didn't do it well enough. Like you can see the supports going
Yeah.
in. It's very ugly.
Yeah.
If you take the monorail, you'll see it. It was so badly done that he actually disowned the project.
Shit.
This is what I heard. And rightfully, I would think that justifies lah.
Yeah.
Like when you envision something so well, but the country that does it so badly, you don't want to associate your name on it.
How come they don't oversee it though?
Because they're overseas, they're doing so many other projects. It's like,
I
okay,
see
so
what you did there.
so, okay,
Oversee.
no,
Okay.
so like if I do a project in Philippines, I can only send my design there. Yes, I can visit it, but I can't be there monitoring all the time.
Yeah, but
Usually they liaise with a local architect
yeah.
because he has the qualified person to sign, right?
yeah.
He's registered in Singapore. Like I talked about the signing.
Yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah.
So they need to liaise with an architecture firm here, and all he does is send the drawings over, and this guy takes care of the coordination, how it works.
But this guy is like the Tom Cruise of the architecture world,
Exactly.
right? So how is it that there is no like hierarchy and people that keep the project in check? Because like signing off a project like that is huge, right? Having your name in another country.
I don't know what the full story is lah.
Yeah,
but
that's
if you go to
crazy.
Vivo City, you will see what I mean. You go to the second level, you look at the ceiling, you'll see all the services, all the electrical wires above that stupid cage. I don't know why they couldn't conceive it properly, but it was very badly done.
Yeah.
Anybody go to Vivo, go and look a bit more carefully into the ceilings, into the facade. You see all these problems and why such a famous Japanese architect would disown it.
Yeah, and like the first time I went to Vivo, like wow, it was very different. The interior especially was huge, right? It was massive, right? But you can see it looks almost incomplete.
Yeah.
Like there's something cheap about it.
Yeah.
And I noticed the same thing, right, in Jewel.
Jewel.
Like when I went to Jewel, besides the center piece, right,
yeah.
that fountain, when you actually go around the ring of shops, the underside of the escalators, like everything else, like very.
It fell apart. Like they didn't follow through.
Yeah.
Right. Oh, I hate Jewel.
Why?
I'll tell you why. Don't you find you always get lost?
Okay, yeah.
The problem with Jewel is that there's no orientation.
Yeah.
You never know where you are, where you're coming from, or where you're going.
Yeah.
That's the reason why there's so many freaking signs, and that's the reason why there's a car park board that tells you where your car is.
Right.
They have to go through all that problem because the main design was fucked up.
So an architect is responsible for both the exterior and the interior?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Like architects always have done the outside and the inside as a whole. You think about it. You commission someone to design your house. You want a continuity from the design inside all the way to the outside. You want that to continue. You want the same finish, the same quality, the same idea to be carried out.
Yeah.
You don't want one person do this, one person do that. That's very weird.
Okay.
The thing that ID comes to shine is when we have apartments and HDBs where it's too expensive to hire an architect. It's overkill.
Yeah.
So you get an interior designer who is great at design and who can get the job done for you.
Right.
Without charging you an abundant fee that an architect would charge.
So it's basically very talented, but on a smaller scale.
Yes.
Okay.
That being said, there are big architecture firms that hire bigger ID firms to do the interior, but they are always talking. It has to be a constant communication.
Because it's still one thing.
Yeah, it cannot be two separate things. When that happens, a building looks damn weird.
Okay.
Like inside doesn't look like outside, that kind of thing. Yeah.
Okay.
So, yes, architects do both inside and outside. Why was I talking about this?
Jewel.
Yes. So Jewel, everything from the outside to the inside to how the space is planned. The stupid circulation, we call it circulation, but basically how people move about. It's all planned by architects. Yeah. So the fact that Jewel was anyone who goes there, you don't tell me you know where you're going.
Yeah.
That's a fucking lie. That's a freaking lie. Like you don't
Where's
tell me
Nike? You don't know. You
nobody
just walk
knows.
around
You
until
just
you
walk
walk past
find.
it.
Yeah, exactly. Then you're like, yeah. So when you go into a space, you must be orientated.
Yeah.
Entrance, exit, where's this store, where's that store?
Right.
It's the same problem as Suntec. You go down to the ring, you don't know where you are anymore. Unless you know, okay, pepperonis is here, cold storage is here.
Okay, then why do people still make circular? Have there been like successful
Because of the
circle-
frontage of shops. When you make a circle, it's everybody can see everything.
Yeah.
You go to the bottom of Jewel, there's that stupid fountain still there, but you can see A&W from across there.
Yeah.
You can see the don't know what chicken rice store. You can see everything from
Okay.
everywhere. Everybody has the same frontage. You no longer have that rectilinear thing where units or some units like Sim Lim Square got people at the back, right?
Yeah.
You don't know that one.
Yeah.
So the circular thing, it looks nice also, right? Like symmetrical and it's just easier to walk. And it's that whole, there's that whole principle of malls trying to get you to stay as long as possible. Same as casinos, trying to make you stay as long as possible.
Yeah.
So having that means once you start that round, you have to go one round. If not, you cannot come back to where you started from.
Okay. So architects hate it, but business people love it.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So that's the only reason why circular shopping malls still exist.
I guess there are other reasons for it. But to me, Jewel made no sense. There was a reason for it being circular, which is the fountain, right? That was an engineering marvel to get the roof, all this structure is actually calculated to withstand the support. That's why there's no beams or anything's coming through. All that pressure is calculated by structural engineers so that it's all pressing inwards like a donut. Sort of I can't remember what the word was. Hyperbola
Cone.
it's a hyperbolic shape.
Yeah.
That pressures on itself. It's very hard to explain, but
well, very cool. A lot of science
it's
into it.
very cool. A lot of engineering went into that.
Yeah.
So that's the reason for the circular thing. It's like how pyramids are the most stable structures,
Yeah.
and how these circular domes are also one of the most stable structures.
Right,
That's the
right.
reason for the circle. But that being
And
said,
it looks like Jurassic Park.
it does. But that being said, any circle you can still do it well, such that you can orientate yourself.
How?
Well, you don't have to have every floor looking the same. You don't have to have every rim. You can imagine you slice it into 4 and then one go higher than the other, like in a quadrant, right?
Yeah.
And then you straight away know, okay, yeah, I came from here, I came from there.
That's even more confusing to me.
Like what I'm getting at is
A half floor.
no, like you slice Jewel into a quarter, then one go higher than the other and one go higher than the other. Now you have 4 different levels.
Okay.
So if you know you came from a certain level, if you know you came out.
one quarter here, one quarter here, one quarter here. Okay.
It just stacks up like
But
that.
then it's redundant space on all the others.
Yeah, you have to do some details in that.
Right.
But the thing is that once you have something different, it's
Yeah.
easy to orientate yourself
Yeah.
to know where you came from and where you're going out from. Like,
It's like next is a fucking mess, right?
oh yeah, next is also another one.
Yeah.
I hate it when escalators skip floors.
Yeah.
Those are the most annoying things. But that's freaking rambling on.
The interview has flipped completely, okay? This is an interview about him as an architect.
Oh my gosh.
Okay. But this is to promote your new channel, right?
But okay, I can remember on and on about this, but it does jade me a bit when you study these things. But when I say, when I bring it to your attention, then you'll be like, oh yeah, I always get lost in Jewel.
That oh yeah moment does very well on TikTok.
It does.
Okay, so back to content creation or whatever this podcast was supposed to be about. What else? Any other questions? You wanna?
I think just to wrap it up you had your experience in 2 companies, both big social media companies. You have your own channel. How would you see yourself moving forward in the future? Do you want to focus more on these companies, or do you see yourself focusing on your own stuff, pushing your own stuff a bit more? Because from what I see, you enjoy actually building things for the companies.
Yeah.
Things that actually work and actually do well. It doesn't need to be solely your face or your type of content, but you're proud that a certain content does well regardless of where it's on, because it's your creation or your idea to start with.
Yeah, I guess as somebody that's in the creative industry, right? Like, it's always very exciting when you get a new blank page and then you get to scramble and then see what you can come up with.
Yep.
Because no matter what, right? Like any other artist, right? You start with a blank canvas, and once you're done painting or drawing or whatever, right? That has never been there is now there forever.
That's true.
Yeah, and that to me is the takeaway.
Your
of course,
mark
there are
on the
KPIs
world.
because it's a fucking job, lah, right?
Yeah.
But I think it's beautiful that can happen, and that's how I perceive my job to be in an artist way.
Okay.
But I also think that it's a very fun challenge. Like, I like to create to entertain and to also impact.
Yep.
give people value and whatnot lah.
Okay.
Yeah, like in music, right? Like even though I do very little and my views are also not there, right? Once in a while I'll get like a text message from somebody or like a DM or a comment, and it'll be how like I was able to impact them, help them through a certain time, or can I use this song for my wedding? Then I'm like, what?
Walao,
Yeah, but it's very nice, and wow, the feeling I get is damn shook.
Yeah, it's more than like a million
Because I'm so
views.
happy. that I can help somebody like that.
It does, yeah.
Or do
These
something
comments
for
are actually
someone.
like so wholesome. Like,
Yeah.
right.
But when it comes to like the internet, there's also a lot of harsh commentary lah.
Of course.
But I've learned how to manage that. I'm very disconnected because I understand that there are people that I really don't care what their opinion is, and that's the majority of people, to be honest. So it really phases me. I don't even feel the need to be accountable to many people, even if they call me out. Because I don't owe them jack shit.
Yep.
Yeah. So what I see myself doing in the next few years, actually I'm going to challenge myself to build something new within the next 6 months.
Nice.
And I want to see where that takes me. Rather than build something for someone else at the moment.
Ah, I see.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because I really want to test myself and prove myself also lah. Yeah. I think that's the constant struggle that a lot of people face with regards to I don't know about other jobs and other industries because I've only been mostly in this one. But a lot of times do you question whether it is your personal capabilities that have brought you this far, and whether you're able to repeat success or whether any of what you're doing matters and
Like
shit
whether
like
you
that.
still have that spark, that spunk.
To begin with, or were you just lucky? You know, things like that.
Yeah. Okay, I see where you're going with this.
Yeah, and that's something that I constantly question also. Yeah.
I mean, I do see that in other industries, like people doing something similar to what they're doing already at work, but doing it for themselves to see where they are at in terms of how they've progressed personally, and if what they're doing is actually, different when you are doing it for yourself. Without a different agenda. It's what you want to do. It could be better, it could be worse, but at least trying it, it's the first step, right?
Yeah.
All right. Anyway, I'm going to leave your socials like everywhere on this screen.
No. Let's put the new architectural channel.
I'm not promising anything, but it just spark some interest in me.
No, but it's very exciting. Like having conversations like this, right? You see, we were communicating and then I'm sorry, we were just conversing, and then we came up with ideas for new content and like shit like that, right? I think that's the most exciting thing. We could go on for hours about like what platforms should we explore, how will the content then be formatted for those platforms and shit like that, and then have new ideas also.
It's like
very
brainstorming
exciting,
session.
But it's fun. It's fun.
Yeah. But alright, man. Actually, the weather's getting very cooling. But we're gonna wrap this up. This has been quite a long one. But anyway, thank you guys for watching. So much have to cut out.
Wait, this one you cut out?
Family friendly. No. Anyway, we're gonna wrap this up right here. Thank you guys for watching. Thanks for coming on.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, subscribe, like, and we'll see you guys in
Subscribe,
the next.
guys. Subscribe.
All
What?
right.
10K?
Huh?
10K already?
No lah.
What? Now what?
I'm at 3.4.
Get him to 10K. Let's do it.
Alright, thanks guys.
Okay, bye.
Hey guys, thanks for watching this episode of Talk Some More. If you've enjoyed this episode, do give it a thumbs up or a like depending on which platform you're on. If you want more content like this, do also consider subscribing and leaving some comments as to what you'd like to hear next. For now, thank you for your support and I'll see you in the next episode.